Hello everyone, and welcome to another Company Heroes 2 replay cast. My name is ATR, and today we're gonna have ourselves a 1v1 on Stalingrad. Our heroes today are going to be the Evil Adventurer, playing as the Austere in the blue, and his opponent in the red. For the Red Army, it is going to be udav2377, who is currently building himself tier 2, as you can see right there. And getting a max machine gun, so probably gonna be seeing some spam. I'll be honest. So let's take a look at our players. I mean, this is not the greatest and highest of level play, so we're not even gonna mention those ranks. We'll keep them private. But hopefully we will have ourselves a good match. So Stalingrad, not a lot of people like this map. Seems to be very unfavored. It is very short, very small, and the points are very close by. I mean, you can see here the the distance between these 2 points in the mini-map right here. You can see it right there. They're right there in view range and firing range. So it's a very close quarters map, kind of urban, but most of the buildings are destroyed, and we have a couple buildings like these ones over here that you can in fact garrison. So, while the game gets underway, we do see that Doctrine has been selected, obviously, for Mr. Wow, I forgot his name. The Evil Adventurer. He went for the Assault Support Doctrine. You can see it right there. Mechanized Assault Doctrine, sorry. And got himself the Assault Grants already, which is great. So far, 2 Assault Grants. He did build tier 1, however, and is getting himself a Grenadier squad, so not going for the whole spam, trying to have a little bit more of a combined arms effort, which is nice. Especially good to have at least a Grand Squad around to be able to Faust vehicles if they do come onto the field. Max of machine guns now on the field, 3 at a time. We have 1 already in this house. Combat engineers capturing over here. Max of machine gun popping into this house, just gonna be, well, I mean, I wouldn't just keep them in the houses. I would use them to cap, even especially in the early game, but oh well. So far, Udav just simply wants to control territory by keeping machine guns in those houses. Has another max of machine gun. This one is heading into the center, so at least this one will be used to cap. And considering the alleyways that form here, I mean, the max of machine gun can just set up where it is right there, have an angle of fire like this, and it covers the entire alley. So yeah, right there you can see it covers that. It is obviously exposed to the side, but you know who isn't, right? And Assault Grants do manage to get a nice flank on that Maxim machine gun, forcing it away. Not a lot of kills on it. They only lose 1 man, but the mission is accomplished. The enemy is forced back. Up in the north, however, the Maxim machine guns still hold up in those houses. Probably not going to be popping out at any point in the game. They'll probably just end up dying in there eventually. Grand Squad loses the engagement as it, well, goes up against the machine gun. And the combat engineers for Udav are going to be laying down a mine. MG42 now on the field for Mr. Adventurer, the Evil Adventurer, the evilest of all. And he, I don't know where he's going to send it. Probably going to be sending it to the south and stop the Maxim machine guns from capturing this area, since the Maxim machine guns are already up in the north and going to be very hard to dislodge. Pioneer Squad trying to play ring around the wreckage, get themselves shot by the Maxim machine gun, gonna be getting suppressed. They are in heavy cover, so that will stave off the suppression for a little bit, but they won't win the engagement. They're not supported by anything else, and they will end up having to retreat, and there they go. Center map, we see the combat engineers retreating as they ran into an Assault Grand Squad, and the MG42 is just also covering the approach. It's a nice little position there for the MG42, as it does have a green cover right there that provides it, you know, this whole angle of fire, so it's pretty cool. So pretty slow so far, not much going on, especially because, well, we have Udav just leaving his Maxim machine guns in the buildings. I mean, if you're going to be spamming Maxim machine guns, do so aggressively. They are a 6-man combat group. They are not really meant to be holed up in houses. Obviously, a house is a very powerful place for a machine gun to control a critical sector, but not just, you know, leaving them there and spamming them around the map. They're a 6-man squad. They are capable of capping and fighting at the same time. They have very fast deploy times and such, so there's really no reason to just keep them around in houses. At least not in the early game. Maybe in the later game when armor is already on the field and you really can't be moving around too easily. You know, put those Maxim machine guns in those houses, but Yeah, I mean, right now with 3 Maxim machine guns, Udav would have actually been able to control a very large portion of the map, whereas now he controls about a third, and Mr. EvilAdventurer is just simply able to continue to push forward. Manages to get a nice flank there with his assault grunts. Maxim machine gun forced to retreat once again, and again the MG42 up in the center could actually potentially be used down in the south and covering this side so that he continues to control that territory and not allow it to fall into the hands of the Soviets. With Tier 2 out, we do see an AT gun on the field for UDAV, a very preemptive AT gun, considering that nothing really can come out just yet. We do have Tier 2 now finally down for the TheEvilAdventurer, so I suppose a vehicle could come out, but I mean, he hasn't seen anything, and no tank is going to be coming out that is going to be too impressive, and it's in the base, so I don't know why the AT gun is out right now, but, well, we'll see. Keeping a mark, 6 minutes is when it came out, probably at 5, but we'll just say 6. And we'll see when and how long it takes for it to actually do anything. Maxim machine gun set up right outside the base, essentially. Take some shots at the assault grunts. Does get them suppressed, however, they do end up crawling out of the arc of fire, and the Maxim machine gun is no longer capable of shooting at them. Combat engineers pop out with their flamethrowers. Flamethrower throwing widely, it just sprays all over the place, but does manage to catch one of those assault grunts in its burst. Gets the second one and forces the retreat of one of the squads. Up in the north, Pioneer squad with a flamethrower gonna try to flush out the Maxim machine gun, but it ends up getting itself pinned down and gonna be forced to get out. Up at the base of Tier 2, AT gun getting produced. A mortar would not be amiss here. Mortar is an excellent choice, which TheEvilAdventurer should be getting, and I'll say that for future reference, you know, if you're watching it. But yeah, I mean, if your enemy spamming Maxim machine guns, mortar is an excellent choice, especially if he's keeping them inside houses. You can flush them out very easily and get them out of the way. Maxim machine gun does go down in the center with a nice flank there, and grenades going off from the rifle grenade of the Grand Squad. Assault grunts pick up the Maxim machine gun and retreat, and the other one retreats as well without capturing the point, but a Maxim machine gun has now fallen into the hands of the enemy. Another AT gun is being produced for Mr. UDAV, and he is now 7 minutes and 38 seconds in, and the AT gun has yet to do anything at this point. So again, getting an AT gun sometimes as a preemptive measure is okay, but getting a second one without having the first one do anything, really? I don't really see the point, and we can see from our point of view that obviously no vehicles are coming in just yet. We do see that a Doctrine has been selected for UDAV. That is the shock rifle frontline tactics, I believe it's called. I didn't actually write it down, but it's the one with the shock rifles, the KV-8 and the IS-2, so it's a very popular Doctrine. Gets himself another AT gun, and the Shock Troop Squad is now on the field. Shock Troop Squad will finally give UDAV an ability to actually fight into the map. It is going to be running straight into an MG42, which will, well, you know, put an end to its assault, but at least now he can fight with something else, the combat engineers. Combat engineers a little bit further south do get flamed by flame pyos, and they end up forced to retreat. Shock troops in the center getting flamed again and pinned down, forced to retreat because, well, there's no support. Maxim machine guns on the left-hand side, still sitting in the houses. Ooh, a flamethrower actually got dropped on the left-hand side. A little bit oversight there by Mr. EvilAdventurer. He lost his flamethrower, and that could actually be picked up by a shock troop squad. That would actually make them very deadly. So I'm hoping that UDAV picks up on that and goes get it. But, well, 2 AT guns on the field, second shock troop squad coming out, so a little bit of twos going on. If he had another combat engineer, he would fill out the set. 2 shock troop squad, 2 Maxim machine guns, and 2 AT guns. Yes, he did produce a third Maxim machine gun, but, you know, it's what he has right now that counts. Maxim machine gun on the left-hand side in that house, trying to get some shots off on the assault grunts as they move around. Doesn't manage to get them suppressed or shot at. Right-hand side, we hear a heavier engagement. Shock troop squad pushing forward, getting a nice kill on that combat engineer. Goes up in flames. Shock troop squad continue to push forward. The Grenadiers are forced to retreat, down to 2 men, but they barely make it out. The MG42 is further back, not in the fight, not able to support, and the assault grunt squad decides to back off as it cannot go up against a shock troop squad. Back at base, do we have medics on the field? Yes, we do have medics on the field for UDAV, so at the very least he will be able to heal up. And his combat engineers are laying down some more mines, it looks like. Because the mines are actually the ones that ended up killing the Pyos, who probably would have died anyways to the shock troops, but they finished the job. Assault Grunts coming in for a nice flank there on the Maxim machine gun. Throws a nice barrage into the house, eliminates the Maxim machine gun inside there, and it is now completely open. Pioneer Squad trying to flush out the Maxim machine gun in the second house. Going with a flamethrower burst, does get it down to 2 men, but it gets itself pinned down. Needs to retreat or it will get killed. And there is no other engagement going on. A retreat goes off. Mine gets hit by one of the retreating Pios, but the squad makes it out of there alive. Maxim machine gun in this house does decide to finally pop out and retreat, so Udav not wanting to lose his eternally hold up things, and the Assault Grunt squad decides to go pick itself up a flamethrower. That is kind of nice. Does lose one of its SMGs, however, so it reduces its you know, moving firepower, I suppose, but a flamethrower is quite nice, and it will actually do quite a difference against the shock troop squad. There you go. Grenade does go off on the assault squad, and they need to retreat now. Flamethrower burst goes off, but ends up retreating. Only a little bit of splash damage. They're just fine. In the meantime, we see Grenadiers capturing a second pack gun getting produced for Evil Adventurer. I don't know why they keep doing that. I mean, I don't know. I guess that's just personal preference. Because, like I said before, I understand the getting. I mean, we have 2 AT guns in the base for UW, and we're now at what, 11 and a half minutes, and we were gracious and said that he produced the first one at 6, which we all know he did at 5. But I mean, that's at least 6 minutes now, going on to 7 minutes that he has had 2 AT guns on the field, not doing anything. Assault Grunt squad gets itself eliminated in the center as a shock troop squad and combat engineer focus against them. Grenade goes off on a Grunt squad, gets naded, forced to retreat down to 2 men. We'll make it out of there just fine. Shock troop squad retreats as it did take quite a bit of damage, and the combat engineers will move up to relieve them. Pioneers with flamethrowers moving up against combat engineers with flamethrowers. AT gun at a distance getting some shots off. Not going to be able to do much, but, well, there you go. So anyways, that's what I was saying. I mean, I get the idea of getting an AT gun preemptively in case of any vehicle play. I still don't like it because if you don't have anything to shoot at, the AT gun is kind of useless. It's a little bit less useless with the Soviet AT gun because it has the artillery barrage ability, so you can at the very least utilize that against infantry. But getting 2, I mean, we have 2 pack guns on the field for Evil Adventurer, which he isn't going to be utilizing. This one hasn't, I mean, it's shot, but it hasn't hit anything. He could very well spend that manpower, which is 320 manpower, into something else. Get himself some Panzer Grenadiers at the very least, or start investing in his own vehicles. Putting that, but to each his own, I suppose. I guess it comes with experience, but shock troop squad's going for a little bit of a drive-by, or yeah, drive-by shooting. Get themselves a little bit battered there. They only inflict a little bit of superficial damage to the squads. Down to 3 men on 1. Shock troop squad forced to retreat. Second squad going for the MG42. MG42 getting flanked. Does have a line of sight and arc of fire on the shock troop squad, but the shock troop squad is too quick, too deadly, too fast, and it gets itself behind the MG42 and is now going for the pack gun. Very nice control there of UDAV, of his shock troop squad, managing to just get it behind the lines of the enemy and inflicting maximum amount of damage. It is getting chased down by other squads, but it just manages to continue to push through and go in and do a lot of damage. Forces the pack guns to back off, throws a grenade on top of the Grunt squad, gets some more damage in there. The shock troop squad continues to do damage and then retreats. 6 men still alive. They've taken some damage, taken hits to the limbs, but they'll be fine. They'll get healed up and get back onto the field. We do have 3 shock troop squads on the field for Mr. UDAV, so that allows him a lot of firepower there on the move with those PPSHs. But at the same time, the Evil Adventurer continues to control most of the map. 292 fuel to his name. Considering that no additional tech is being built, it looks like the Evil Adventurer is probably just going to be saving his fuel to get Tigers eventually. He's not even considering getting Stuggies, although maybe he could. I mean, we'll see. Does need some manpower, which, like I said, the not getting the AT gun could have actually allowed him to get a Stuggy, and a Stuggy in this situation against shock troops would be amazing, So if you are looking Evil Adventurer, if you tend to do, your build orders, quote unquote, like this, consider in the future maybe cutting one of the pack guns and going for the Stuggy. The Stuggy will still provide you some type of support against armor, very light, but It's still, you know, something, but it gives you more versatility, and against infantry troops, especially like shock troops, they can just sit in front of them and destroy them. It is very good against infantry, and it won't take any damage from shock troops because they can't do anything, even their grenades. Maybe if it sits on top of the grenades, it'll take some damage, but I very highly doubt it's anything near enough to maybe kill it. Bunker on the right-hand side for Evil Adventurers, just to be a nuisance. The AT guns could potentially finally be used. I mean, we are at 15 minutes now, so we're already 10 minutes in with those AT guns being produced and not having them do anything. So that is essentially free manpower that your opponent is making against you. Back at base, we also have the pack guns for Evil Adventurer, which, once again, essentially become free things. And finally, we see the Stuggy now on the field. Stuggy should be able to provide quite a bit of support. We have a third AT gun getting produced for Mr. Udav. So that Stuggy, if it decides to somehow run straight into the base through here, is going to get eliminated in one volley, but hopefully he doesn't do that. Shock troop squads continue to push forward. Assault Grens moving in to intercept them. Assault Grens noticing, oh, these are shock troops. These are actually going to be quite horrible for me. I need to retreat my squads. Retreats the one-man squad. Second squad goes off. Grenades go off. Shock troop squad down to 2 men, and the Stuggy now on the field needs to chase down to a shock troop squad. The shock troop squad is not getting chased down. Turn your sights. It doesn't have a turret. There you go. MG42 forced to retreat, and the Stuggy is now on the chase. The AT guns are on the field, 3 at a time. The Stuggy just continues to get shots off on the shock troops. The shock troops pop a smoke in front of it. He can actually go for the crush, and he goes for it, forces a retreat, and the Stuggy continues to chase down, takes another shot, eliminates one more shock troop, and forces them to run through the Maxim machine gun. The Maxim machine gun will pick up another kill probably. Yeah, there he goes. Third kill might be possible. No, they make it out of there alive, but well, they're fine. 3 AT guns on the field. And 4 shock troop squads on the field for Mr. Udav. So the name of the game now is only shock troops and AT guns. What happened to his third Maxim machine gun? I mean, I obviously see that it has been lost, but did it die inside the house? I didn't actually see it anymore, but yeah, well. Mine getting hit by the Grants as they go to cap. Shock troop squad trying to catch the remaining guy as he runs away, but he makes it out. And Stuggy on the field just continues to move around. AT guns now finally deciding to pull up. 18 minutes, so that is 12 minutes at the very least where the AT guns have been produced and not do anything. AT guns take a shot at the Stuggy. The Stuggy takes a shot from the AT guns and tries to back off. We see a light artillery barrage right on top of the AT guns. Boom, shots fly, but they hit the wreckage a little bit more than the AT guns. Does manage to decrew one of them, but the 2 AT guns manage to pull out and, well, push forward really and get themselves out of the arc of fire. AT gun in the back is decrewed, but it can very easily be recovered. Shock troops on the field. Left-hand side. Assault Grens, and yeah. How's this game actually gonna go? Well, Evil Adventurer is saying such spam. Pack guns in the back for Evil Adventurer, not doing anything. Again, that is manpower that he could have been utilizing in another fashion. Again, it is 320 manpower, that is 640. He could very easily call himself 2 Stuggies with that much manpower and have 3 Stuggies on the field right now. So Grens just trying to recapture territory. We see the AT guns moving over to the right hand side. Shock troops to all together. 4 at a time. That is a very difficult squad to deal with, or attack force to deal with. Does have a Maxim machine gun and MG42 on the field. However, they are kind of ill-positioned. I wouldn't really know where to position them better, but they are very flankable here from this side, and we see the shock troop squad going in this direction. Incendiary barrage goes down on the assault Grens. They have to run through the fire down to 2 men on 1 squad. Makes it out of there alive. Grens on the left-hand side go for the fuel, and we see combat engineers popping in front of the bunker that's now going to get shot by AT guns and destroyed. As the Stuggy pushes forward, Stuggy, not a good idea. You need to back off and get the hell out of there. Gets shot by the AT guns, gets double shot by the AT guns. Takes a shot at the combat engineers and nails them, but now needs severe repairs. Back at base, a med bunker would not go amiss as well. And, yeah. Not much else really going on. It's kind of a slow game. Kind of a slow game. A shock troop squad's moving all together with their AT guns for support. Light artillery barrage right on top of the path where the troops are running to. The AT guns decide to move into the light artillery barrage, which is very questionable, at the very least. But they managed to dodge the light artillery barrage pretty much completely. They only take 1 point of damage, so they're fine. Doesn't actually matter. So the Evil Adventurer, trying to combat spam with spam, continues to call himself in some Assault Grenadiers. Pro tip, don't. Assault Grenadiers are horrible into the late games, and Shock Troop Squads just ridiculously kill them. So your Assault Grens are not going to have much of an effect here. Panzer Grenadiers would probably be a little bit better. They may be able to fight a little bit more, even though not that greatly. And probably just getting Grens would be your best bet. I mean, he does have tier 2, so Panzer Grenadiers are fine, and they have the bundle grenades, which are great, so I don't see why he's investing the manpower in Assault Grenadiers when he can just invest it in Panzers. Assault Grenadiers, there's a reason why they're tier 0 or 0 command points, is because they are really only effective in the early game. So you want them in the early game to be able to combat your opponent's troops. They're especially useful against those Maxim machine guns to get in close in a flank and decrew them very quickly, you know, do a lot of damage at close range. But against a force like this of shock troop squads, your assault grunts are not going to do a lot of damage. I mean, yeah, I mean, you can see there the amount of damage they are taking. They do manage to clean off one of the squads. I mean, obviously they're not completely useless, but they don't scale well. So shock troop squads do end up losing one of their members finally. AT guns moving behind them to provide some support, and the Stuggy and everything is back at base, not getting repaired, needs some repairs, and the AT guns were actually in range to start pillaging the base, but they're going to back off. The MG42 is not getting themselves turned around, now going to get flanked by the shock troop squads. Again, very bad positioning here for these MGs. Both squads need to just simply turn around. MG42 gets cleared off as the shock troop squads are right on top of the squad. Shock troop squad, are they going to go pick it up? Doesn't look like they're going to pick it up. Maxim machine gun not getting itself into the alley to be able to support in the fight. And far in the south we have a Grand Squad just going for a cap as a KV-8 gets called onto the field, and that KV-8 is going to destroy those Assault Grenadiers because they can't do anything against vehicles, which is why I'm saying Panzer Grenadiers are probably better, because you can get Shreks on those. And even though the KV-8 can easily kill Panzer Grenadiers, at the very least it's a deterrent. Pack-ons in the base, still back there. They need some heals. Med bunker would not be very bad. Come on, would be good. KV-8 backs off a little bit after doing some damage, and the AT gun has been recovered back at base. The two AT guns are over on the far right-hand side as they now get cut off by an Assault Grunt squad. Mines getting laid down for UDAV, but they're not completed. And the Assault Grunts are now going to have themselves a field day as these AT guns are now cut off from their base and are right on top of the Assault Grunt squad. It is a 4-man squad only, so it doesn't have quite the firepower that it should, but it is going to be able to do a lot of damage, potentially just clearing out this AT gun as they desperately try to move out of the way. KV-8 will move in to put a stop to them, but like I said, they will be able to probably clear out one. Yeah, they clear out one AT gun and then are forced to instantly retreat. Burst goes off, brings it down to 1 man, but it makes it out. Pack on now on the field. Stuggy being brought up. The Stuggy is great against the KV-8 because the KV-8 doesn't really do much against it. Can switch to its main gun and do damage, but it is not heavy damage, so the Stuggy can potentially easily move out of the way. And with the support of an AT gun, it should be fine. Second AT gun setting up to cover the center map. And what else is going on? Not much. A lone Pioneer moves out onto the field for some weird reason.
We have a forward structure under attack.
Not the brightest idea there. There, he finally notices that it's a 1-man squad and retreats. But yeah, not the brightest idea when a KV-8 is on the field. Left-hand side, we have a bunker laid down to cover this point. It's not covering the victory point, so it's kind of weird. Light artillery barrage on top of the shock troop squad. The shock troop squad are just simply going to move out of the way and dodge that artillery barrage very easily. Some of them decide to actually move back into the artillery barrage for some weird reason, but they don't get hit, so their stupidity is not punished in this instance. KV-8 moving over to the left-hand side will be able to easily clear out the bunker. And with the Tiger unlocked and enough fuel for it, I believe the Tiger is going to be getting called in just a minute here. Only needs 20 more manpower and he'll be set. Shock Troop squads running again into an Assault Grenadier squad. Assault Grenadier squad needs to retreat. Grants retreat as well. KV-8 forcing them to retreat. And everybody retreats. Everybody poops. Maxim machine gun covering, MG42 covering, pack gun covering, everything covering, and Assault Grants going for the cap of the victory point. Victory points are 452 for the Evil Adventurer, while only 227 are left for Mr. udav. Incendiary barrage right on top of his Assault Grants. The Assault Grants don't notice that there's fire around them and get burned. They sit in the fire because it's kind of warm, and they retreat down to 2 men. Is it too late? No, they make it out of there alive just fine. KV-8 moving to the left-hand side, going to be destroying that bunker. There he goes. Flamethrower burst goes off and deals with that. AT guns now catching the Tiger. These 2 AT guns will be able to do a lot of damage to the Tiger, so the Tiger is forced to back off. Now down to almost half health. Gets his machine gunner on top, but now needs repairs desperately. Pyro squad back at base, only has 2 men. Needs to reinforce and get the repairs going. Stuggy in the field, still in the center. And Grunt's just moving around. Shock Troop squads all clumped up against the AT guns, covering them against infantry. KV-8 roaming around. Bunker has been decrewed. Combat engineers and shock troops going to cap, and the AT guns move up to place themselves on the left-hand side to cover against the Tiger. Tiger only now going to be starting to get repaired. A second pilot squad would not be too bad here, but again, he has spent a lot of manpower and other things. Stuggy moving into the center. MG42 pushing up with it. Going to be covering and capturing the center victory point. Right hand side, AT gun. Sorry about that. I sneeze. Anyways, right hand side, pack gun captures the victory point, while the MG gun captures the center victory point. So the points are still going to be bled against Mr. udav. So very slow game, huh? Very slow. Not a lot happening. Stuggy crushing over some walls, opening up the approach. I mean, that's not a bad idea to do, to crush all these walls and maybe get rid of this hedge if you can, because that would actually allow your MG42 to be set up somewhere around here and cover like this entire angle, and it's a very open angle, as opposed to having blind spots, you know. So yeah, I mean, it's an idea. I mean, right now with both MGs covering each other, I suppose it's kind of in a secure location, but you know, opening up that field may actually be a little bit better. Tiger on the field. It is in position to stop this approach. However, with 2 AT guns backing it up, the Tiger is not going to have an easy time of this. It can very easily deal with the KV-8. The KV-8 now spotted by the Tiger. The shock troops moving up. The AT guns setting up in position. Light artillery barrage on top of the AT guns would not be bad. Right here. Right here. Boom, boom, boom. Light artillery barrage. You have the munitions. Light artillery barrage, no? Okay. There goes the light artillery barrage, but that's actually right on top of the shock troop squad. The shock troop squads aren't going to move. The AT guns are moving right on top of the artillery barrage. Oh, artillery barrage hits. The AT gun stopped right on top of it, but the Tiger still gets a lot of damage on it. That light artillery barrage is not doing too much, is it? It's a very disappointing off map. KV-8 takes a little bit of damage, AT guns suffer a little bit of damage, shock troops suffer a little bit of damage, but nothing gets killed, and the Tiger gets manhandled down to about 25% strength and is forced to move out of the way. Manpower once again up to, actually no, not manpower, fuel up to 357. So another Tiger could be requisitioned here for the Evil Adventurer, but he doesn't have the population cap or the manpower because he has a lot of other things, especially assault grants, which aren't helping him too much. Decides to move his Tiger into the line of sight of both AT guns. Why, I don't know. But, well, the IS-2 wasn't on the chase, so I suppose he didn't have much of a choice. And with no Tiger on the field, udav is now in prime position to take the game. He has his KV-8 back in the base, doing a lot of damage. He ends up losing his main gun at pack guns. do move back and gets itself killed, so a little bit of a small mercy there. Shock Troop Squad is getting a lot of damage there on the Pack Gun. The IS-2 will be focusing now on the Pack Gun to try to decrew it. Pack Gun can get recrewed on the move, I suppose. Right now you can see it get reinforced if possible. But the IS-2 is moving for a flank. AT Gun does get a shot off. Second Pack Gun moving back home. Misses its shot. Doesn't manage to hit it in the rear. Back at the base we see the Shock Troop Squad getting eliminated. And the Pack Gun in the base gets eliminated by itself. IS-2 now focusing on the tiers to remove the ability to call in troops. Pack Gun's pushing forward. Gets in range of the IS-2. Gets a shot off. Shot actually hits. Finally, doing a little bit of damage. Assault Gun Squad getting eliminated as it pushes forward against the IS-2. More shots continue to fly from the Pack Gun and nailing that IS-2 in the rear. IS-2 down to about 60% strength. Second Pack Gun needs to move up and continue the assault. The Stuggy is on the field. The Stuggy could actually be utilized against the IS-2. It does surprisingly a good amount of damage, especially if it's hitting on the rear armor. And it's a target for the IS-2 and can absorb some shots. Pack Gun taking some shots directly, not getting a lot of luck there. Does get crew shocked on the IS-2. Takes another shot, does damage on the engine, but the IS-2 manages to clear it out. The Pack Gun over here is decrewed, and we see the AT Guns getting some shots off at a distance. Down goes Tier 1, and we now only have Tier 2 for the Evil Adventurer. Grunt Squads, Assault Grunt Squads pushing out. The IS-2 slowly crawling out. We have another KV-8 on the field. If that goes straight into the base, that is GG. We'll see if UDAV does that and finishes the game. Shock Troop Squad caught by the base sector. MG is just pinned down and getting shot in the face. Not sure why it's sitting there as it's pinned down. Once your squad is pinned down, it doesn't have much to do. AT Gun on the left-hand side does get decrewed, so it's available for the Evil Adventurer to pick up. The IS-2 is just slowly crawling out as combat engineers are trying to catch up to it. Stuggy on the field, now running back to base. A KV-8 is gonna decrew this Maxim machine gun and the MG42. MG42 does end up retreating. The Stuggy turns around to get some shots off on that KV-8. Pack Gun getting a shot off on the KV-8. We have damage going off on the KV-8 very nicely. The Stuggy getting some shots, but not penetrating too much because it's not very good against armor. But it's now moving itself in a very awkward position, not shooting at the KV-8. KV-8 decrews that Pack Gun, and it's now moving into the base. Could switch over to its main gun, but what are they doing? That pathing is just horrible. Left-hand side, Assault Grunt Squad with the flamethrower getting shot at by the IS-2 and its gun on top. Shot flies. No, barely makes it out of there. Stuggy needs to chase down that KV-8. Come on. Get into the game, Evil Adventurer. Go balls deep. There you go. She's finally now starting to chase that KV-8 after allowing his Stuggy to just move around like a dumbass. KV-8 gets into safety as it's now in the protection of the IS-2. Takes a shot and eliminates one of the combat engineers, but the IS-2 will now be eliminating the Stuggy. The Stuggy tries to move out of the way to not get hit, manages to cover itself in the wreckage, but breaks through the wreckage and gets a shot off at the KV-8. Nope. Goes out of control. So, sacrificial Stuggy right there. Finally, we get another Tiger on the field. Tiger needs to go ham right now. Go, go, go. There are no AT guns on the field, and both of the tanks are severely hampered, severely damaged. So the Tiger needs to move out now and go for the kill. The Grenadiers can throw another Faust on the IS-2 to get some more damage in there and get himself back in the game. Maxim machine gun covering the right-hand side. Gren's backing off as they get shot from the IS-2. The IS-2 pulling back. No, no, don't pull it back. Go forward. Forward. Ever aggressive. IS-2 now facing the rear armor. The Tiger moving up right on top of the IS-2 is going to be able to get a shot on the rear armor. There we go. Boom. Nice shot on the rear armor. Does a lot of damage. The IS-2 is having to turn its turret all the way around. No AT guns to support it. Second shot goes down. Down to a sliver of health. IS-2 shoots back in return. But one more shot from the Tiger. There goes the IS-2. Continue to push forward. The KV-8 is nearby. You can just finish it off. There goes the Tiger. Come on. Finish the game here. You know you can. Shock Troops and Pyos in the center engaging in the victory point. Pyos with the flamethrower doing a lot of damage, but they're going to get rinsed here by those SMGs at close range. Down goes the Pyos squad, and that's a big loss there. The Tiger pushes forward, but it misses the KV-8. It just needs to go straight into the base and hunt it down. There's nothing for it to fear right now, but obviously he doesn't know that. A little bit too passive here, Evil Adventurer. Just Go, go. But oh well. Assault Grand Squad trying to engage the Shock Troop Squad. Shock Troop Squad has taken quite a bit of damage. The Assault Grants are still unable to do too much damage. Assault Grants do fly. They manage to inflict some more casualties down to 3 men, but they get naded in return. Shock Troop Squad that is end up retreating. They do get Veteran C3 in the process, but the Assault Grants manage to stay at the point. Maxim Machine Gun trying to get those Shock Troops off of their point. They're down to 1 man themselves, but they do manage to pin down the Shock Troop Squad and force it down to 1 man. Maxim Machine Gun ends up retreating, doesn't want to get lost, and the Grants in the center will capture the point. Victory points down to 64 for Mr. Udav. 420 points still left for the Evil Adventurers. He's quite fine. Back at base, the KV-8 is still getting repaired. The Tiger decides not to engage and is just going to move back a little bit passively. And there we go. Pack gun still back at base. We have an AT gun on the left-hand side, still recoverable. What else is available? Incendiary barrage right on top of the Grants as they capture the victory point. Have a second AT gun up in the north. So if the Evil Adventurer just builds himself some Pyos, which he obviously needs, build a couple Pyo squads and just go up and recapture some AT guns, he will have a lot of anti-tank support, or conversely just destroy them with his Tiger if he doesn't want to deal with it.
We are ready for action.
So not much going on. Second Tiger called onto the field. Oh, come on. Well, now with the second Tiger, you just have to go for the kill. KV-8 at about 75% strength, now moving out. No victory points collected. AT gun on the right-hand side, still on the field, going to be recovered by shock troops potentially. Doesn't look like they're going to be doing that, but it would have been a good idea. I would say, personally. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. But, well, we'll see. Left-hand side, Slug Grenadiers capturing the victory point once again. Tigers in the center. Now, Tigers just need to go. They need to go. They see enemies over on the right-hand side. Go for those enemies on the right-hand side. Both of them together and just go for the kill. The Tiger is going a little bit for a little bit of a flank, it looks like. No, they're now going. Well, they're going straight into the base. They may be going straight into the base. We do have 2 AT guns on the field now, as the one on... No, another one got called in, so 2 brand new AT guns on the field. Where's the other AT gun? I can't see it. Can't see it. Is it back at base? No. Here? Yeah, there it is. Third AT gun getting recovered by Udav with his combat engineers. And the Tigers are just being used passively and defensively. Arrgh. Oh, well. Maxim Machine Gun moving up from out of the base. Not a lot of manpower for the Evil Adventurer, so he's not able to requisition too much. Did spend a lot on his Tigers, so it would be a good idea to keep them together to improve their power and not have them as just 2 separate Tigers. Gren in the center gets eliminated by a shock troop squad, so that is a even bigger loss here for the Evil Adventurer. So now not having really infantry to cap with, he is at a severe disadvantage. We see, obviously Udav has more, even if he has AT guns. Those AT guns can still cap. Smoke grenade goes off by the shock troops. They manage to cloak themselves in the smoke. But the Tiger is just going for the crush. Oh, crushes one of them. Gets a shot off on the second. Gets nailed by... No, nothing. Actually, it looked like he might have gotten shot by an AT gun, but no, that's his own shot. Gets another shot on the shock troop squad. A machine gun on top, getting damage in on that infantry. And the Tiger at the top just sitting around. Again, could be used in tandem, in unison, and they would do a lot more damage. If he goes for the base right now, he can actually end the game. We have 3 AT guns on the field for Mr. Udav, so that is a very bad position for the Tigers to be in, because they're going to get cut off from any retreat. They do go for the base, get some shots off, destroy the base sector MG, it looks like. No, they decide to focus now on the shock troop squad. The shock troop squad gonna get nailed. There goes the shock troop squad. 1 shock troop squad down. And the AT guns are now moving back to the base. Shots continue to fly. Tier 2 gonna be going down here for Udav, so he will not be able to requisition any more AT guns. But he is capturing the center point with his shock troop squads. AT guns moving back. Tier 2 gonna be going down. Tigers do have this little hill here. This mold is a shot blocker, so they are able to move themselves out of the way. Volley does go off on the Tiger, needs to back off now. Second volley goes off, does a lot of damage. Tigers just now need to move out of the way. Stay alive. Tiger takes a shot at the base sector MG. No, it stays alive. Tiger still gets shot, now need to back off. Pyos need to get produced. There they go. And up in the north, the Assault Grunt squads that just continue to be produced, which you shouldn't be producing them at this point of the game. They actually managed to dodge a KVA. It's very nice. Tiger running into some shock troops. The shock troops running into the Tiger. Tigers need to move back. The KV-8 is going to be doing a lot of damage there to the base sector. So the Tigers just need to barrel down and go there. Do have a Maxim machine gun decrewed in the center of the map. Could get recovered. Tiger trying to catch those shock troops. The Tier 2 will be going down, pretty sure. And the AT guns are moving up to support the shock troops as they go for the base. Tiger getting shot in the rear armor, needs to continue to push forward. AT guns behind it are in range. Second shot hits the rear armor. The Tiger decides to back off to mask itself behind the building. Be able to still shoot at the shock troop squad, and the assault grunts get naded there by the shock troops. And they're also going to get incendiary barrage. They need to push forward. Light artillery barrage at the same time right on top of the AT guns. Incendiary barrage on top of the grunts. The Tiger on top is shooting at the KV-8. The KV-8 has done half damage here to the base sector, the headquarters, the Kampfgruppen headquarters, and if he loses this, that's it. But the Tiger should be able to deal with this KV-8 quite easily, or well, quite easily. He's not going to have too much of a problem dealing with it, but can he do it in time is the question here. He barely does it in time. Needs to get those piles repairing. That base sector is very low in health. More piles, and stop building those assault grunts. Assault grunts are not good for you at this point in the game. Oh well. I suppose he doesn't really have much of a choice now at this point also, considering that he's lost both his tier buildings, and I don't think he's too inclined to be spending fuel in that. He's going to probably just be saving it up for Tigers. Tigers back at base, severely damaged. One of them down to 25% strength. The other is about 60, maybe 50% at worst. Assault grunts moving out. I mean, assault grunts are kind of okay if the shock troops are not nearby because they can decrew those AT guns, but geez, it's a tough situation. IS-2 once again on the field for Mr. Udav. I think he's probably going to want to go for the kill. He's probably going to want to kill the base sector and just finish the game, but intelligently, the Evil Adventurer is repairing his base sector. Needs to stop building those assault grunts and just get more piles. Does manage to destroy one of the shock troop squads and is now in prime position to remove those AT guns from the game. Does throw 3 grenades at them. Does a little bit of damage, but they are getting shot at by the extra members of those AT guns. They're down to 2 men themselves, so they need to get themselves out of there. AT guns turn around, get some shots up, but a second shock assault grunt squad with Veteran C3 right on top of the AT guns will finish the engagement. Another grenade can go off here. It's 45, so he has enough, but with just a simple volley of fire, manages to decrew those AT guns and either take them for yourself or get the hell or destroy them. That is a key thing here. IS-2 engaging 2 Tigers. Tiger facing his rear armor to the IS-2. It's a very bad spot to be in. Moving away is not really going to do too much, even though it is now focusing on the second Tiger. But what you need to do is actually turn it around, not get it all the way out there. Lead Tiger turning itself around, not a very smart thing. Just keep your front armor facing your enemy, and penetration may be able to save you. Second Tiger now going to move in to get some more shots off on the Tiger. Tiger on the right-hand side goes down. Tiger on the left getting some shots off on the IS-2. May be able to get itself behind the turret, but the turret catches up to him. Gets a shot off, and the Tiger is down to a sliver of health. IS-2 now in prime position to destroy the game. Oh my god, is the Evil Adventurer going to lose this game with 11 points left for his enemy? Udav has managed a double cap, so he has stopped the bleed at 11 points, and the base sector is down to about 30% strength. Udav throwing some with some eyeball-less smiles, I suppose. I don't know what the hell that may mean, but gotta love that exploitation. You've also been doing a lot of wrong things, so don't whine about that. So with 1 shock troop squad and an IS-2 on the field, he may be able to finish the game, but no, he recovers the pack gun that is outside of the base, gets some shots off on the IS-2. Can he finish it off? The IS-2 is still in range. There goes the shot, and down goes the IS-2. A clutch recovery there of that pack gun by the Evil Adventurer. Manages to keep himself in the game, and there's now only a shock troop squad left on the field for Udav. Quite a game, I gotta say. Stuggy getting called onto the field as a desperation act. He wants to have something to be able to combat. There's shock troop squads on the field for Mr. Udav. He has one capturing that victory point right now. 365 victory points left for Mr. Evil Adventurer. So that means he has a lot of time. He doesn't have to worry about victory points, really. The one that worries about victory points is Udav. He is down to 11. So that's stuck. He needs to move over to the left-hand side and destroy these two AT guns. He needs to remove them from the game. There's also two AT guns up in the north. He could either recover those himself or destroy them, just in case. But he cannot allow his enemy to recover those. Does run the Stuggy into that shock troop squad. The shock troop squad is in a lot of trouble. Incendiary barrage goes off into the assault grunts in the center. They manage to decap the point. Still bleeding 2 points per tick, but it's a little bit less. Smoke grenade goes off from the Stuggy on top of the shock troop squad. Needs to just run forward and maybe crush those guys. They end up retreating since they know they can't go toe-to-toe against the Stuggy. And there they go. No more AT guns will be built by his enemies, so Stuggy needs to just destroy these. Just hit this attack move on these guys, target that, and it'll destroy them. It's a simple thing to do. Keep that in mind. If you're not going to recover a weapon yourself, destroy it to deny it to your enemy, because very much like the pack gun was left here, or somewhere over here, I don't know where it was, that can turn a game. Like right there, the IS-2 was about to win, but because the AT guns were still left on the field, and he didn't destroy them, it saved your ass. So you don't want your enemy to come up and recover these guys and destroy your tanks, and again put you in a very awkward position. And yeah. So Stuggy covering the victory point on the left-hand side. We see the right-hand side victory point recovered. 3 shock troop squads now on the field for Mr. Udav. Udav floating a lot of manpower and just utilizing it to call in shock troop squads. He can call in another one right now. I don't think he's noticed that he's on cooldown, but yeah, I mean, he could call in some conscripts if he wanted to, but I suppose the shock troops are a lot better and more capable fighters. Shock troop squad winning an engagement against a veteran E3 assault grenade squad because they're just that much better, and they managed to nail the grenade. Center victory point getting capped by Mr. TheEvilAdventurer. Left-hand side point has been capped by the Evil Adventurer, so 1 point is being bled down to 9 points for Mr. Udav. Manages to cap the point on the right, stopping the bleed. The point in the center almost got capped by shock troops, by assault grunts, but the shock troops move in to deny them, and that allows them to stay alive. Stuggy moving in to engage. And we still have 900 manpower there for Udav, so either calling more shock troops or, I don't know, do something else. I don't know what the hell. Anyways, Stuggy and assault grunts engaging in the center. Shock troops not able to do too much. There we go. We see once again another AT gun that has been left on the field getting recovered. Fortunately there, the Stuggy had close range. He's very good at decrewing them, so that ended up working against Mr. Udav. Udav going for the center victory points. At the very least, he has a decap, but he's about to cap it. The Stuggy not turning its sights and its gun to be able to fight those shock troops. The shock troops just moving back and forth, breaking line of sight, really. Shock troop squad now getting right on top of the assault grunts. The Stuggy moving behind it, being very clumsy, not being able to do too much there. It's very awkward. Back at base, the base sector has been repaired to about 75% strength, maybe 60 probably. But the center point has been capped by Udav. Center point and right hand side point are getting decapped right now by the troops of the Evil Adventurer. The assault grunts are doing as much as they can. Just sit the Stuggy in the center point. Stop moving him around. The the shock troops can't do too much. Oh my god. Oh well, that's fine. I'm sorry. I'm getting a little bit frustrated there by that control. The pathing is also very difficult to handle in these close quarters with vehicles. But right here is a much more open terrain. They'll be able to shoot at the shock troop squad if they want to move themselves over there. They're not capping the point. You just circle around with your infantry and try to cap the point from the other point and force them to move to you. So, just keep that in mind. Don't chase them with the Stuggy. The Stuggy doesn't have a turret. So just move that Stuggy right here. Right here. It'll cover everything. So anyways, shock troop squad getting eliminated in the center. And now with the 2 points captured and this point getting decapped, that is game. There's nothing more that he can do. Does call himself another KV-8, but that is a little bit too little, too late, and that is game. So I do have to say a lot of mistakes by both sides. Not the best play here, but very Close game there for Mr. Evil Adventurer, who almost screwed it up and ended up barely staying alive there, as that IS-2 almost eliminated him and did an annihilation victory. So anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed the game. If you have any positive or negative remarks, go ahead and leave them in the comment section below. If you have any replays you want to send me, go ahead and send them to the email that I will put in the description. But otherwise, I hope you guys have a great day. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.